Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Sunday, December the 7th, the year 2018. Weekly open and gap. Let's see what's going on. But first, we will talk about money and risk management, or at least I'll display the screen. You know it's important. Always remember to stay focused. You want to make sure you do not exceed your risk on any one trade. You do not let your position blow by your stop loss. Okay, we've got the weekly chart up, and we can see that we had a gap down on the euro, so it went to the north side and it filled. And as you can see here, we've got a few that haven't filled. The New Zealand pairs haven't filled. So that's something to keep your eye on throughout the week. And for those of you just tuning in, let me just explain the gap. So for you old timers, bear with me. You see here we had the weekly open was below last week's close. That creates a gap. You want to trade towards the close. That's your first trade of the week, because usually that fills. Not always, but usually it does. Then we'll drop down to the daily chart, and we can see what's going on here. Once again, you can see where it opened, where it is. It opened in the wick zone. We know price does not like to stay in the wick zone. And so far the market's only been open, what, 3-4 hours. And let's see, we've got some nice movement on the pound pairs here, except for the pound dollar. It's only 25 pips. The other ones have moved nicely. Opening up so we can have some possible rat reversals. And looking at the buy zone here, as you can see, we got our trigger right there. Took a minor heat, but now we're up and away. In fact, we're let's see, that's a good, what, 7 pips to the good right now if you took the trigger here, or 9 here. Now somebody was asking me about where we take these triggers. I usually take the trigger somewhere around 7 or 8. Here on the chart it's between 8 and 10. It's pretty safe. It gives you enough room, so if there's a pullback and you want to stop at the open, you give it enough room between your entry here and the open so it can move. Like right here, you see you entered, it came down. So if you put your stop in, or if you put your trigger in at maybe +5, and then you were stopping out at open -1 or 2, you would have gotten taken out. And as you can see here, we don't quite have a rat zone. You can see how tight the range is. We've only got 18.9 pips, so that's not enough really. But you can still trade off that bottom. You see it would be fading, okay. So right here you can see there was a rat reversal. Red candle, green candle, close. Take the break of the high, turn trade, take the break of the bear candle high. Either one would have put you in positive pips. And looking at the pivot, you can see here, let me drop down to the H1 so we can see the daily pivots. Okay. Right here was the open. There's the pivot. You want to fade the pivot just like we fade the gap. So see here, we'd be entering long, looking for it to hit 120.47. That's what we're going for. You can see it hit the weekly pivot right here if you're trading off the week. So once again, that pivot point fade trade, very profitable, simple trade. Just looking at price action here, As you can see, it put in that low, made a higher low here, started to go up, and we were fading anyway, so that was just a textbook classic trade. Once again, the 5 lines from the previous day, just take the line. We're using H1, H1, H1. So we're just taking the trade with the H1 candle color at the line. In fact, I received some comments from a couple of members saying how they had some very nice trades, just profitable trades, trading horizontal lines. They're finding out it really is simple to do. And on the other hand, there's a trader out there that tells me I don't understand supply and demand. I just have to wonder why you would take your time to post that. I mean, are you trying to make yourself feel better, feel superior to me? I mean, really, you know, I just don't know. Why would somebody even care whether or not I or any other trader understands anything else? I mean, if you're not offering educational material, if you're not offering, you know, a method, a system, if you're not assisting fellow traders, just telling somebody, oh, well, you don't understand that, well, that's not being very helpful. I mean, really, you know, at least I take the time to explain things, show people how I've developed things, share that. But I mean, really, just telling somebody they don't understand supply and demand, I mean, really, you gotta wonder why some people do what they do. I mean, maybe that person had a adverse childhood experience, and they're just, you know, that's the best they have to offer. So enough on that. But I just don't know why people do that. Anyway, wick zone. Price doesn't like to stay in the wick zone. You can see it opened in the wick zone and it's already left once. So chances are it might re-enter and it'll get rejected again, either on that side or that side. But it's probably not going to stay in here. You can pretty much take that to the bank. Highest open, lowest open. We had a lowest open here. You see we've got a highest open coming back here. H1 highest open, lowest open, the setup. And let's see, I believe, what do we have here? Oh yeah, my reminder. Actually, I think I need to replace this screen, or I might just leave it up here, but it's just telling me in English things. It's a reminder. You know, it's telling me fade the pivot. Things of that nature. So that's kind of it. I don't remember. I don't think there's any other questions hanging out there. I do appreciate the kind words. And I think a few people kind of like the indicators. That's nice. But you really don't have to use the indicators if you don't want to. I mean, most of this stuff you can take your own the line tool and you can put these horizontal lines in. It's just nicer to have a indicator to do it, so when you change pairs, they'll be plotted for you automatically. I mean, like, see, dollar CAD's really taking it on the chin here. You see it came up and it got rejected. There. So let's say, I think this is the first, yeah, it's the 1 o'clock. That's the 0. So yeah, here we have it. Had a little gap down. You can see it's in the lower wick zone, but we'll put it back on the euro. That's what we're trading for. Let's see, somebody said they wanted me to do change every other week as opposed to every week, so we can do that, or we might just stick with the euro for the entire month. Let's just see what happens. can't really think of anything else that's earth-shattering. It's just, when you're trading well, in a way, it should be boring. I mean, there really shouldn't be too much excitement. I hope you all had a good NFP day. That was fun. That was for sure. But I'm trying to think, am I missing? Did I miss something somebody else wanted me to do? I'm trying to remember. I can't think of anything. So if I didn't answer a question, or if I missed something you wanted me to show, feel free to email or post a comment. Oh yeah, and remember to subscribe and click on the bell so you get the alerts. I guess I'm supposed to say that to remind people. Let's see, I answered the buy zone question. I got that nagging feeling there's something I didn't answer. Pivots, price action, just the simple 5 lines there. The wick zone. Wait, was it somebody asked me a question about the wick zone? I think I may have answered it before. But basically, for those just tuning in, this is the wick of the previous day's candle right here, and price just does not like to stay inside that zone. It just doesn't. Once it gets in, there's usually about a 70% chance, or better statistically speaking, that price will leave that zone. And so that's one of the reasons why I like that trade. And when you get a break of the previous day's high or low, then a lot of times you could be in for a nice run. So that's about it. So I'll let you guys go. I hope you have a good week of trading. And just remember, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. TheRumpledOne signing off to go drain the banks.